We come at a good time. This game has already had a hotfix. This is CARIMARA, Beneath the Forlorn Limbs. I don't really know what to expect from this game because it looks like a card game, but it also is like a spooky game. So I don't really know what that means, but I'm excited to see what this is. It also has the annoying problem of muting itself and pausing when you alt tab. The pausing is fine, but I wish there was an option for me to turn that off immediately just so I can get into the game. But now you see exactly why I was excited to play this game. There's something really cool about this. I think the way I found this was during the Critical Reflex show, I think. Was it the Critical Reflex show? I think it was. Yeah, it was. They had like a game showcase of all the games that were coming out at some point, and when I saw this game, I was like, wow, this actually looks like a really fun concept. In a way, it kind of reminded me of Inscription, which I think is like a very bad thing to say, not because Inscription is a bad game, but I sort of feel bad for this game, because I think, you know, even immediately, you get the sense that this game is doing something very cool on its own as well. But again, all card games, I think, are very easy to categorize within, like, does it look like this game? Does it look like that game? It's just genres. It's just a hard thing with, like, genres, yeah? Is this a cutscene, or am I allowed to move? Once upon a time, what? That frog is disgusting. Beneath the shadows of a long-lost forest. Oh, what the hell is that thing? Most of the game is very quiet. It's like almost too quiet. And this is max volume. This isn't me adjusting the volume or anything. Never mind. The sound effects are loud. Maybe it's meant to be quiet. Hello? Are you CARIMARA? Oh, I don't like the way that smiled. Oh. Look at that slop that he's eating. Oh, that forest slop. Don't smile at me. Am I the little fella with the long staff? Or am I the dude who looks like, oh, there's people hanging from the ceiling? Minecraft is new, because when it was... Minecraft is interesting because when it was new, it was the little kids game of the generation. Then 10 years later, most people that you saw playing it were boomers. I mean, that is true. Because think about this too, okay? Games like this are an attempt by the boomers to recapture the feeling that they had when playing Yu-Gi-Oh! It's all the same. Like, everybody's just trying to, like, come back to this day and age when these things were made for us. I can turn 360 on the chair. I have a card in my hand. Collect cards. Oh. From... Use it on character. What? Use CARIMARA. What are you waiting for? Just go to the cellar. Have some questions? What are the ragdolls? Wait, this is interesting. I didn't expect this from the game. I thought it was like a card game, but it's actually a game using cards that you discover as your options to use within the game. That's a very cool concept. Ah. Aren't they beautiful? They're soft. They smell good. And when they fall on your head, they don't shatter your skull. Use this squishy. Something else? I don't like that. Old lady, I have a leave card and a CARIMARA card. Old lady. Old lady seeks experience CARIMARA for ghost problem. It was all in the sign. That's all you need to know about me. You curious little guy. Ew. Off topic, what's your opinion of Before Coffee Gets Cold? It's good if you enjoy like a nice little cute book to read, but it's not anything substantial. Although I will say, the substance that it has is very interesting, because it's sort of like very, very... The one deep thing about it that's really, really good is that it does deal with the topic of like, what is time? And these moments that we have, why don't we make the best use of it? It's actually the most... It's actually the best part of that book is like, why don't we make the best use of our time in life? And why do we wait till it's too late, almost? What? The Yu-Gi-Oh! What? You're scared. You still remember when Yu-Gi-Oh! Was new, shrivels up and turns to dust. I remember when Yu-Gi-Oh! Was new too. Yeah. I was like, but like now it's old. This creature does have the Yu-Gi-Oh! Dude stare somehow. What do you mean the Yu-Gi-Oh! Dude stare? Such a nice and welcoming style smile. Who has the Yu-Gi-Oh! Dude stare? Oh! Kaiba? Wait, he does kind of look like Kaiba. Wait, Kaiba eyes? He actually does look like Kaiba. Was it new in the late 1900s? She's doing it again. She's doing it again. Look, look, look. I'm gonna flash Kaiba on screen, okay? So look at him. Oh, sorry. Look at the old lady. Look at Kaiba. Same eyes. Like, actually the same eyes. It's just Kaiba, like 60 years in the future. Oh, it's so good. How did you see that, chat? Carimara. But I think of you. You don't look very strong, nor very intelligent. But hey, only you bother to do this dirty work around here. So we make do. Something else? I'm leaving. Good luck. So I'm the Carimara. Well, rude. No, it's true. I mean, we all know it's true. I'm a little fella. Fuck your soup, stupid. Fuck your soup. You calling me weak and not strong? Fuck your soup. I'm gonna stop all of your goddamn soup. This is a cool game. I really enjoy that you use like the cards. You never even played Yu-Gi-Oh! You barely know what it is, but you still knew somehow. Only the manga, it only really took off in the 2000s. Oh, so you were there for the manga. Boomer. Can I burn cards? I can't. They have a key. Hey. Key. What? You found the key? What? Why is that so important? How do I turn off notification noises? I actually hate this so much. Why is this a feature? Why does Steam tell me the noises? How do you Steam? Notifications. Settings. Notifications. No noises. No sound. No. Oh, chat. Sorry, give me a second. I was on the wrong account. I was on my brother's account because we share the same like Steam accounts on the same PC because it's easier for us to like have the two. I need to switch over. He's gonna be like, hey, why do I have playtime on the Carimara? But he's also gonna be mad because he also wanted to play it too. Oops. He's gonna be very mad because he wanted to play it and he was hoping to get like non-spoiled progress. I really hope there's a way to I hope there's a way to delete that save after. He's gonna be very pissed actually. Oh, sorry. This is the problem with streaming, right? Is like I have a couple of things and it's kind of hard. Okay, there's a delete save button. Okay, good. I'll fix that problem later. Okay, you can share via family account. So we are sharing via family account. Wait, what? Oh, it shared the save. Wait, what? It shared the save? Oh, thank God. Okay, thank God. This thing only has local saves. Oh, thank God. Oh, thank goodness. I was very worried. Well, also that's also bad because if you delete the game, then you lose everything. You also actually only discovered it through the anime. The first manga you read was Naruto Datebayo. Axe? I didn't realize I can capture anything within a card. It makes me wonder why can't I capture her into a card and use her to help me? You know what I mean? Why? What is she doing? What is her stance? Oh my God! Wait, chat. She has 4 arms. Oh my God! She has 4 arms. Oh, that's disgusting. Hey, what are you waiting for? No, I want to ask you about the key. She's smiling. She's had a weird smile. She's like, why are you capturing and using women? I'm not gonna make it. AI slop. What do you mean this is not AI slop? Oh wait, because the 4 arms. Oh yeah. AI slop making 4 arms all of a sudden. It's not very nice to use Shrew to capture women. Well, I need to use them! Axes. Do you like the interior decoration? I think it was my favorite activity. We were truly complementary. Strength and dexterity. Will and intelligence. It was perfect. Something else? No, I'm good. I'm good without your will and dexterity thing. It's kind of freaky, actually. You ever see the German Naruto opening? No. But please send it to me, because now I'm curious about the German Naruto thing. Probably 6 fingers, too. We could count. Well, I guess we just go to the basement, but is there nothing else I can pull out here? Because even just getting the axe was an interesting thing to read. Oh, God. That's a really cool shadow effect. Do you see the shadow effect? That's such a good effect. I don't know if it shows up on the stream, but at the very edges of it, it has almost like a silhouette, almost like an aura of some kind. I can't get up here. She's hiding something up here, and I want to know what it is. But I hear a voice. I heard something outside, actually. Oh, it's just birds. Okay, you know what? Don't stall. Don't stall. Just go into the basement, rip off the band-aid, get it over. Chest! Chest box. What? Hey, what's the chest box for? Hey. What am I waiting for? Well, what's inside the chest box? She's smiling. Lavender. I store my lavender in it. To stuff my dolls. Nothing you'd be interested in. Something else? No. What's in this chest? She can't see me, right? CARIMARA? Old lady. Rag dolls. Okay, so it's not everything has a response to everything. Only some things give you a response. What the hell is that? Lavender. That she uses to fill up her dolls. Hey. What am I waiting for? This doll that you told me not to care about? What is this? She didn't like that. She looked very surprised. I'm gonna assume that Lavender is the person whose soul she's stuffing inside all of these dolls. Oh god, I really don't. Ah! Hey. Hey, listen. I saw you. No, I saw you. Oh no, okay, you're saying the same things as before. I saw you. Can we talk about the fact that you were staring at me going down the stairs? God, that's so scary. Like, you see her head just slowly creep in and just pops out. Look at that. Although, okay, it is kind of funny that you can just keep going back and forth and get her to pop in and out. Like, this must hurt her neck at some point. What? There's a hole up here. What the fuck? Oh, I thought that was a bug. That's not a bug. That's like an actual hole where eyes are staring at you. Hello? Let's just move on now. Hey, oh god. She said this was a haunted basement, right? Wooden statues. She said this was a haunted... Oh my god. There's like baby frogs. What is that? Why does she make those dolls? There's a lot... Oh, these are all wooden statues. So she probably sculpted all of these. But why does she carve the ones that are on the ground? Almost like leaping. You sent me the opening, but I'm not ready. I'm sorry, but yeah, I like lied to you. Sorry. That's me! I am a wizard. Oh my god. I need to be like very observant, I think. Because this game, it's already playing with the idea of like holes within geometry to hide scary things. Because in any other game, that would be a bug. But here, you see eyes through it as if they're staring at you. As if they wanted you to see it. Which says to me that this game rewards a level of observation that I would imagine other games don't usually do. The shapes of these dolls are sort of interesting because, like, these ones are definitely creepy because they look like people, but a lot of them seem very benign too. Bottles, are we in the goth girl tunnels again? Oh, we're in the goth girl tunnels again. We're stuck in the goth girl tunnels. POV, you have a wooden statue of like a goth girl. What happens to all the goth boys, eh? Is there no reddit.com/r/goth boys or like goth guys? Where's all the goth guys? Isn't goth like a global phenomenon? And if so, where are all the goths? It seems like only the girls get celebrated, but the boys get turned into vampires. Like, go back in the coffin. Right click also jumps. I don't, oh. My god, it's the frogs. In your mind, goth boys are just e-boys somehow. Well, it's because, they do look very, similar. She shouldn't be left here alone, blah. Her place is among us, blah. Why did you talk to me? We miss her so much, blah. You must help us, Ribbit. We need you, Ribbit. We need you. You need me? We want to gaze upon her again, Ribbit. Yes, look at her, Ribbit. One last time, Ribbit. Bring her back. She must return, Ribbit. We miss her so much, Ribbit. Frogs. Do you see that one? There's a frog on the floor. Can I talk to you, frog on the floor? Frog on the ceiling has much to say, but what does frog on the floor have to say? Look, baby frog on mama frog. I wonder if this implies that, is it lavender that they're talking about? Maybe the doll has some substance? Or, if I can lower the volume just a tiny bit, or are they talking about the old lady? Because who are they referring to, right? We sort of assume there's multiple people. It's bottom frog. What is this emote? Frog wide. You know, it's for places like this. It's for parts like this. It's for games like this when you need to really let me know how wide it is. For lore. Little one. Can you understand me? I don't know why I'm here. Who was I? Are you CARIMARA? Who killed me? Leave. Little one, can you understand me? I don't know why I'm here. Who were you? I think you were Lavender. Who killed you? The old lady. What killed me? The axe. Wait. What have I done? Are you mocking me? Well, no. I don't... I think I get what this game is. This game feels a bit like an investigative game where you have to like choose the right options. But I think I chose poorly. Are you mocking me? Get out of my sight! You fainted, passing out. What? Poor, insignificant little thing. The ghost did him no favors. It's a good thing I followed him discreetly. Let's take him back upstairs. Frog wide wanking. That's a good emote. That's a really good emote combo. Hey, I guess you're my friend because you saved me. I can sleep here. What was that? Oh, you're awake. I'm relieved. You were pale as a ghost when I found you. Take care of yourself. Have a question. The ragdolls. Aren't they beautiful? They're soft. They smell good. Same thing. Me. What are the wooden statues downstairs? I made them myself. They're cursed. Some years ago, they started falling off by themselves. I couldn't bring myself to throw them away. To sell it at least. They can't fall any lower. Something else? The forlorn. A forlorn? To me, it's a ghost, but okay. It's settled in our cellar. Some nights you can hear it howl. I feel like it's calling me. It keeps me awake at night. Find a solution. That's your job, isn't it? I'm sorry, I just get so jumpy these days. I don't get much sleep. Something else? No. Did you kill it? CARIMARA, what if I think of you? You live very strong, no intelligent. Yeah, okay, just... Yeah, make fun of me as much as you want so I can sleep now. That emote always gets you. Where's the rest of the Omer emotes? That's the beauty of it, right? It's like somebody who's laughed so hard that they choke and then they die from their laughter because they ran out of oxygen. But that ghost is bothered by my question because of something. I think it's not the fact that I was necessarily wrong. I think the fact that is that maybe it wants to hear a specific thing. The frogs give me some hints of who it is. They want somebody back in this space, but I don't think it's anything involving these. Like, the whole angle of Lavender and the doll and, like, the ghost, I don't think that was it with the axe. We're missing too many bits of the game for us to form a full picture yet. But even in this zone, it's sort of interesting to see that, like, suspicious hole that we have this idea of... Or the suspicion, like the ability to suspect the old lady of killing it, whatever the forlorn is, right? Like, it's like this game feels like a detective game. It feels like a investigative game where you look for clues and you collect the clues as part of, you know, the game system of collecting cards, and then you use those clues within the game and you form the picture based on what they're asking. You get information based on what you give things too. It's a very fascinating mechanic and a concept. Hey, what's that hole? Watch out. There's something living in there. I think it's a dormouse. As long as you don't piss it off, it won't hurt you. But you're so meek and fragile, maybe don't push your luck. Something else? I'm meek and fragile, okay? I'm a strong... It's a house hippo. It's all coming full circle. This is just Canada. You may not like it, but this is what a Canadian household looks like. She sleeps with Lavender too. It's fascinating that there's dolls everywhere. She sleeps with the dolls, so she sleeps with Lavender on her bed. And the doll she named Lavender. I am the CARIMARA. What are you? What are you doing? Stop. Please let me go. Please stop. Ah! The old lady's gone. Hello? Old lady? You know, we've never even stepped outside the house yet. The fact that we can just stay in here and do all of this is fascinating because it doesn't seem like there's a time frame for when we would have to deal with the ghost, right? Like, it's just like the forlorn just exists there inside the house, and the old lady is perfectly fine living with the forlorn and just having this like ghost haunt her, and there's no real pressure for us to have to like do anything. It's a surprisingly slower paced game for a horror game than I would have expected, but it definitely works because it's very eerie. Old lady. You didn't like that either. Okay, just kill me faster. That's what you get for having fun with suspicious holes without protection. I love sticking my cards and I love sticking my hard cards inside suspicious holes. Hey, I've been playing with your hole all day long and I keep dying. She's very annoyed. She doesn't seem happy. But seeing what she's doing and what happens to me, I must pass out, I wake up, and she moves. I wonder if there's a thing that I can observe about her routine. Maybe her routine is also interesting for me to learn as well. Forlorn. This did not like me asking about the forlorn. And I hope that there's no time limit in this game, because that would suck. From like a gameplay perspective, well, at least from a me playing it perspective, because I would hate to play a game that's like, oh, you die too many times and then the game ends, you have to restart, right? Because it seems like it's worth it to just try this out, even if it's very slow and annoying. It's fun to sort of see like what is going on here. I'm gonna do Lavender. It really doesn't like me. Yeah, so far it just doesn't like me talking to it. So I'm thinking I'm going to change my approach. I need to find something outside that might help me get some information from it. Maybe I can convince it with food. That's not a food. That's a rose hip. That's like a rosebud. Skulls on the house. Is that a head?
I'm waiting for that selfish hag to look away so I can steal some of her grub. Don't you dare screw this up, you little jerk.
What are you? Owl?
Ain't I a stunner? I'm also quite smart and kind. Alright, I confess. I may slaughter someone from time to time, but most of the time it's well deserved.
CARIMARA.
You're terribly ugly, but it suits you. I've never tasted a little goblin like you.
Old lady.
Violet?
Violet and lavender. Names of flowers, but also colors and scents. You know what I mean? Like smells.
She's been living here for ages. But some years ago, she ended up all alone. And since then, nothing's gone right. Nobody gives me anything to chew on anymore. I'm waiting for her to pass away so I can eat a dead body.
Ragdolls.
I tried eating one once. It was disgusting. They're full of flowers. It's Violet's new hobby. Now she stopped skelting. Crazed to be this superstitious. The old lady is losing her marbles.
To the key.
Oh, well done. You figured out how to open the chest. How clever. I'm impressed. Want a medal? You think that's the only secret here? Ah, you're so cute.
The axe.
It's Violet's favorite weapon. It might not seem like it, but these two were the best warriors in the region. They had plenty of enemies, but no one could even compete. Only to die in such a stupid way. Pisses me off just thinking about it.
How about the chest box?
The old lady seems to love it. She doesn't open it very often. She must be hiding something very precious in there. A fine kind of mina, I guess.
Just in case, is my... Yeah, hello? Okay, good. Sorry, just to make sure it's not... I thought I accidentally had the audio thing still on. Lavender. Oh, the other woman. So the other woman was Lavender, and they were both warriors, and they lived in this place, and they had many enemies. And then the other woman died, and then she went crazy, and then she started to be alone. And then she stopped carving statues because she was superstitious of something. But superstition arises because of some belief, right? Superstition is a belief in something. And that belief was something involving her sculptures, was involving but not the act of creation. It's not the act of creation because she makes the dolls and she's fine with the dolls, but she's not okay with the sculpting. It was the sculpting specifically that made her afraid, but not the act of creating the dolls. So it's not the act of creation. It's something specific to the idea of sculpting. Maybe it's the transformation.
Oh, the other woman. She took good care of me. Not like the crazy one. The two of them got on like a house on fire. I really miss those days.
That's a good phrase. The two of them got on like a house on fire. Because a house that goes on fire burns quickly. And burns passionately. And burns loudly. Until there's nothing left but ashes. Because she's dead now. Wait. Because she's dead now. Because eventually the house will burn away into ashes. Wooden statues.
Ah, those famous statues. A fine piece of work. By the way, one day I saw the old lady throw one of these into the river. She was squealing like a pig being slaughtered. It was hard to watch, poor thing.
Forlorn.
Is it edible? Then I don't give a shit.
It's just a hole.
Are you gonna show me every corner of the house?
Fuck off with your hole. Fuck off! I love this guy. I actually love Owl. That's so funny, actually. Real simple.
Some itchy ass fruit. Don't eat those. You'll feel it passing by. It's full of prickly hairs. Dormice love it though. They really eat whatever they can get their hands on.
Thank you for telling me about the dormice. So the dormice in the hole that she suspects is a dormice would love the rose hips. Thank you, Owl. God, you're so cute. Look at you. Look at its butt. It's got a little like, I don't know. It's got a little like it's got a little like it has the ass of a bee and the face of something. Oh God, this place is just decrepit. Shed. I can check out what's in the shed, I'm assuming. In fact, through the hole, I did see a sparkle. And even this whole forest area, you can't go past the entire forest zone. There's a lot of birds on top of the house. The face of an angel. Yeah, angel. Yeah. You know how he said, like, all of you who think that you're ugly, like, no, like, it's offensive to ugly people? Like, that's the ugly people that I'm talking about. Like, when you say that you're ugly, it's offensive to that guy, okay? Birds are not real. Birds, angel. You're right. These are not birds. These are statues. What are you doing out here?
It's exhausting. But I've always loved it. I hope I can keep splitting logs until I die. But first, a short break. Have a question. Rose hips. Isn't it pretty? Long ago, we used to make jam out of it. But I don't feel like doing that anymore. I don't like it anyway.
Owl.
Oh, I see you've met the owl. She enjoys to stay near our house. I think she likes us quite a bit. We've named her Pansy. It's nice that you can talk to her with your cards since you're mute. Your magic is really useful.
It's a biblically accurate angel. You're right. With many eyes and many little holes in the back.
The shed, this old shack is falling apart. It's been a long time since we set foot in there. Why do you care anyway?
Your name. I know your name now. Old lady. Okay, well, I thought I knew her name, but let me ask Owl about the shed. Hello, Owl. And remember, I can even do the ghost, like the forlorn ghost I could talk to and maybe give some cards to. The shed.
It stinks of death down there. As the saying goes, you reap what you sow. Or even, sow the wind to reap the whirlwind. I love giving myself a dramatic flair.
Oops, sorry. Okay, bye. So it smells like death. You reap what you sow. You reap the wind, you reap the whirlwind. That's why the ghost is maybe saying that somebody died, and why she was mad that she died. And I'm assuming the ghost is Violet. But it's interesting that Violet is a name of a person. And Violet is her name. Lavender is the name of her partner, and that she's dead. Dormouse, I have a rose hip for you before we go on to the next night. That should have been the sign, is you look for something red to feed it. Take this rose hip. Ew. Ew! That's a biblically accurate angel, chat. That's a biblically accurate angel. It's a dormouse. Hi, hi, hi. Some rose hip. I smelled some rose hip. I'm quite shy. My dad told me to never talk to strangers, especially nosy little bastards like you. It's a shame he's no longer here to talk about it. If I get my hands on whoever killed him, I will shoot him in the face with a large wooden punch. You'll shoot him in the face with a large wooden punch. I don't know what the act of freeing him was even supposed to do. But now we might as well spend the day going to the basement. Every time I look back, she's always there. I'm a little afraid of going down to the basement because I don't know what's going to change down there. But presumably we have more to work with. There's a dormouse. We know that she's lavender and violet. We know there's something in her shed, but we need to somehow open the shed. I think we need to play with the forlorn a little bit more because we couldn't get more lore from the dormouse instead. And the frogs. The frogs probably will tell me more about what this place is. Although it is interesting that this frog statue is now... Wait a minute, that frog statue. I mean, the frog wooden... Yeah, the wooden carving. And the frog's down here. I wonder why that's there and why it's nailed in. Nailed shut, and why they're asking... And why they're saying that they miss somebody. She shouldn't be left here alone. Her place is among us. We miss her so much. Are they talking about lavender, violet, or some other frog? Maybe the frog wooden statue, if that thing has power. What does it all mean? What will you ask me now, forlorn?
You're back. Have you pondered my questions? This time, don't make any mistake. So, who was I?
You were lavender.
Who killed me?
The old lady.
What killed me?
The shed.
You idiot! You can't use a shed! You don't seem very confident. Are you sure you have all the information you need? Come back when you have a real theory. A game theory.
I get how this is. We really are piecing together something, and I've fallen down, and now I have letters around me again.
He still can't seem to get it right. They'd better not leave without solving the problem.
This shed is the mightiest weapon. I was thinking like maybe, you know, it's like a metaphorical shed, right? Why are there letters on the floor? Oh no, those weren't letters. Those were my cards. Sorry. Hello, old woman. The dormouse.
Oh, you're in luck. Usually it never shows itself. I think there's another one in the shed. I've lost the key, but you should be able to get into the side. There's a missing plank on the left behind the thorns. Something else?
Good luck. Oh, right, because this dormouse mentioned its missing father. Its missing father, who I'm assuming is the smell that's inside the shed of the rotting something. And so it's actually probably a rotting body. Is that... what the hell is that? A real life deer, okay? You might not know this, but deer in real life have a real life aggro range. If you get in range of their aggro, they instantly go into combat stance. But if you walk just out of the range of their aggro, the programmers didn't like program like a follow mechanic, so they immediately go back into a passive mode. Wait, come back. Hey, Owl, what are you doing over there? Hey.
Still around? Planning to settle here?
Dormouse.
A dormouse? I never knew there was one left in that hut. They're absolute vermin. They lurk in the shadows. And as soon as your back is turned, they're pranking you. They steal your stuff. They trash your place. And they throw it at your face all the crap they can find. At first, it's funny. In the end, you want to slaughter all of them.
So, I'm assuming that's why that other one was slaughtered, because it's... So, wait, its prank channel's gone wrong. So the dormouse was pranking the old lady, did one too many pranks, and the old lady was like, alright, I'm done with your pranks, I'm gonna kill you now. And that's why it's here, dead. Dead dormouse. Oh man, that's why it smells like decay. Garden tool and a door, chat. See, I told you the shed was the strongest place. Prank tubers metaphor. Thank you for enjoying my prank tubers metaphor. How come I can't get this? Is that not important? The horn thing? This thing? It looks quite important. I only have a shovel. Strange place with a stork and the statue. An owl statue. Statue of owl. That's weird. And water going to... Is that a talking tree? What is this? Oh my god, it's a grave. There's a grave with a sword on it. Okay. Developers, I'm going to give you one major hint. You need to stop doing achievements for things that are spoilers. I just got an achievement that said, "Oh, you've discovered all the cards." It's like, great. I kind of wish I could figure that out on my own. I kind of wish you could just let me figure that out on my own. Because if you tell me that, then it's like, oh, well, what's the point of the game? What's the point of you having a detective game if you have an achievement that says I discovered all the cards? Where have they gone? Tell me. I can hear you. My precious flowers. I can feel their distress. One is withering. Another is already dead. The last one lets poison seep in. Spring has been languishing for years. The roots are digging, expecting warmer days to return. But the sap dried up long ago. It's over. There's nothing to be done. So why do you still seem so hopeful? I see. You're one of those who can ignore the rules of life. Those who do not accept things as they are. If so, farewell. The bouquet is turning into still life. The bouquet is turning into still life. The bouquet is turning into still life. Still life means that it's dead. But even if it's not dead, at least it's paused, as in like life is no longer. And it misses the flowers. Both of the characters that we're seeing, the old lady as well as her partner, presumably, were named after flowers. Owl is named after a creature. And so when she says the flowers are withering, it sort of feels like maybe those characters. But maybe flower is like an abstract term for something else too. One of the first things you did when you install Steam was shut off the overlay so that it doesn't bother you with achievements. I don't know why achievements are such a major deal. Like, they're fun if you to hunt for, but I hate the fact that it's like a default option, because it's like, again, it feels like spoilers for things. I don't really want spoilers for. Because it's like, I want to know these things, you know what I mean? I don't want the achievement to keep telling me, like, yes, good job, gamer, you've done X, Y, Z. It's like, let me figure it out. And at least have a cooler achievement besides, oh, you discovered all cards, right? I think that would be a cooler achievement, like, maybe stare at the stork for a while until it looks back at you. Or look at the eyes. Or, like, find the eyes and stare at them for 5 seconds. Dead dormouse. Nah. Garden tool.
The garden used to be beautiful and well maintained. Now it's hard to hunt with all these weeds. There's nothing left to put in your gullet. How sad. I wonder why I still stick around. That's mercy, I guess.
The owl statue.
Oh, you found it! Still, Violet isn't playing with a full deck. Instead of looking for a culprit, she preferred to pour out all her hatred on this statue, as if it could act on its own. It's always me who has to do the dirty work in this bloody house.
It's always you who has to do the dirty work in this bloody house. Oh, you found it. Still, Violet isn't playing with a full deck. Instead of looking for a culprit, prefers to pour out all her hatred on the statue as if it could act on its own. Instead of finding the culprit, So she's looking for the culprit who committed something to a victim who, I'm assuming is Lavender. She preferred to pour out all her hatred on this statue, the owl statue, as if it could act on its own. Which is interesting. It implies sort of two things, right? That her hatred was misplaced. That the owl wasn't the culprit. At least the owl is saying and implying that they aren't the culprit, and that their hatred is misplaced. The old lady's hatred is misplaced because she's placing it on the owl statue, which is the statue being referred to, as if it could act on its own. But also, it's this phrase here at the end that actually sticks out to me too, where it's like, as if it could act on its own, as if that's the real culprit. It's like the tool versus the user. Because the next phrase is, it's always me who has to do the dirty work in this bloody house. As in, somebody else is the culprit, even though this was ultimately what probably killed Lavender. Like, the owl probably was what ultimately killed Lavender, but there's a deeper culprit to this mess, the grave.
What a waste. Burying a delicious fresh corpse like this. She'd have at least left me those pretty eyes.
Pretty eyes. Wait, was there another card? No. Okay, let's show the mouse its dead father. Woo! Family trauma! Family drama! Family... Hey, I've snacks. Dead dormouse.
Poor little thing. Who the hell did this? That's awful. I'll bury it across the river.
Something else?
Garden tool. We don't. I don't like gardening. I tried, but I just can't do it.
Something else? Owl statue.
Where did you find this? I should have burned it.
Grave.
Well, I confess. I haven't told you everything. Go and look in the chest. The key is hidden above the fireplace. Just jump.
I've already looked in there. I already know about the key. I already know about this like dead person. But well, I already figured it out. I already know that she's dead. But if I show you Lavender, what are you gonna say? I have too many cards. See? I show Lavender, she doesn't change anything, but I already found Lavender. Could I have accidentally won the game had I just guessed it correctly? Probably. Unless her name is Lavender. Hey, I found your dead father. It didn't like that. Okay, well, I'm gonna show you your dead father over and over until you admit the problem! Look at your dead father! Look at him in the face! Owl? How do I see owls?
I will devour your insides!
Okay, Owl's pretty funny actually, because Owl does like a 360 and he's like, I will devour your insides! Just kidding!
I was just joking, don't make that face. What do you want from me, you little brat?
I like Owl. Turns around really quickly. I will eat your life!
Ah, just kidding.
I wonder if she cleaned up the body. She did not. I still can't take that tool, whatever that is. Actually, that tool has a shape to it. Wait a minute. Curvy shape like that. Curvy shape like that. Curvy horns on owl. Owl statue has 3 horns. The owl statue has 3 horns. But look at owl themselves. They only have 2 horns. They're missing a horn in the middle. It's broken off. That's why it was highlighted. I was thinking to myself, well, why is it highlighted? But it makes sense. The curvy horn, right? The spiky horn comes from owl. The reason why you see the owl statue is because you see the shape of the head. That they used to have 3 horns. It's not just the whole. It used to be one of the horns. He's figuring it out. I'm learning. Tree, will you talk to me again? No, you're dead. Okay, bye. The Kirby horn. The Kirby horn. Yeah, exactly. It is exactly. Isn't it it's like the lightning form, right? Owl is a serial killer or a weapon. Again, trying to find the culprit, right? Violet didn't want to find the culprit. She was just too busy wanting to place her hatred on something, like the statue. And she placed her hatred on the statue because why? Because of the horn. Because of the horn. I've never slept in the bed, so let's sleep inside the bed.
Oh, you're awake. and believe you're pale as a ghost when I found you. Take care of yourself. Okay, bye.
Sleeping. What happens if I sleep? It's just a day progression mechanic. So you sleep, day has progressed. I'm waiting for the selfish head to look away. And then, when she's eating, what changes outside? We need to see every single change at every single time cycle. Fireplace on, it makes me feel like it's nighttime. Something on the door. Owl's here again. Fire is on.
Still around?
I love how Owl just scares you. It's like,
Still around? Huh? I'm gonna eat you alive, huh?
We talk to this thing, we give it the rose hip, then I tell it about its dead father. Hey, I have rose hip for you. Come out. Come out, little fella. Hi, some rose hip. I smelled some rose hip. I'm quite shy, my dad told me. It's a shame he's no longer here to talk about it. If I get my hands on him to kill him, I'll shoot him in the face with a large wooden punch. Large wooden punch. Wait a minute. Large wooden punch. Owl. Whoever killed him, large wooden punch. Why did she say punch? Why did the dormouse say punch? Because wooden punch. Almost like a wooden tool, right? And what do we know about Violet? They're a wood sculptor. Why did they stop sculpting wood? Why did they stop sculpting wood and why did they move towards flowers? Because they miss lavender. And maybe they feel guilty about using the wood. Feel guilty about using the wood. What's interesting is that I can't tell Dormouse about its dead father. It doesn't care. It's fatherless behavior, actually. So the culprit is different. I think I'm starting to piece together what this is. We know, based on the spoilers of the game, that we have all the cards now. And I think the answer... It might be weird, but I'm thinking along these lines. Owl's horn was used as a tool to kill the Dormouse. But why was the Dormouse killed, right? It's a weird thing to kill the Dormouse, because the Dormouse is pranking people. But all the Dormouse does is just prank people. But the Owl says that they'd want it to be killed. The Owl would have been annoyed about it, but the Owl didn't even know about that Dormouse inside the shed. It only knew about the smell. It would have eaten it clean. Or maybe the fact that it's boneless means that it was eaten clean by Owl. I think the tool that was used to kill was Owl. I think that the person who killed the ghost was Violet. I'm gonna try that. If not, it's the Dormouse killed Lavender. So this, I think, is Lavender. She shouldn't be left here alone. Her place is among us. We miss her so much. You must help us. We need you. We miss her so much. You must help us. We need you. We want to gaze upon her again. Yes, look at her. One last time. Because we miss her so much. And they miss her because she was one of the two people living in this house. She must return. And we know that Lavender, was the one who took care of Owl. Which means Lavender probably would have taken care of these creatures too. These frogs. These creatures. I'm gonna place all my bets.
You're back. Have you pondered my questions? This time, don't make any mistake. So, who was I?
Lavender. Who killed me? The old lady. Well, I guess it depends on the culprit, but yeah, I think it's the old lady. What killed me? Ow.
It's nice of you to keep coming to see me again every time. I'm starting to believe in you. See you soon, I hope.
What? I was wrong? Wait a minute. Think about the questions that she's asking.
He still can't seem to get it right. He'd better not leave without solving the problem.
Think about the questions. Who killed me? What killed me? Who killed me? What killed me? The thing that kills somebody could be a reason. It could be like an abstract concern, right?
I want to follow your insights.
That's good. Sorry, I just love talking to you. What killed who? What killed versus who killed versus who they are. I don't think they're Lavender. Lavender must be inside the grave. There were 2 warriors, right? I actually think that the ghost downstairs is a whole different person. I actually think that the ghost is not Lavender. Like, it's Precious, but I think specifically the grave that was filled here is for Lavender. Like, maybe that's the reason is my assumption is wrong. Is that the owl did say that she died in a stupid way. Well, so she did die in a stupid way, but I don't think it was Lavender dying that is the ghost, right? Like, what if it's the dead dormouse? Because there's 2 angles, right? One is like it's actually a ghost of an entirely different person. It's the dead dormouse. But 2 is that if she dies in a stupid way, right? Then the what comes into play. It's like I'm just getting the what wrong. The reason why, and I think it's because the dormouse pranked her. Because we know that dormice love to prank, and the dormice is angry enough to want to kill somebody, and what it's gonna do is kill someone with a wooden punch, which would imply why she doesn't want to sculpt anymore. The itchy fruit to kill her. The itchy fruit. It could be the itchy fruit too, honestly, because you eat it and then it makes you itchy because there's spikes on it too. And they used to make jam, but they don't want to make jam anymore. So it's like there's a lot of angles. So what do we know? Based on the cards, hi. Okay, rose hips, quite shy, especially nosy bastards. It's a shame. If I get my hands on whoever killed him, I will shoot him in the face with a large wooden punch. The dad is no longer around. We can assume that the dad is maybe the dormouse inside the shed, right? That's the dad. The dad was killed with one of the horns of Owl. Owl says that the old lady isn't basically trying to find the culprit. The old lady is basically blaming her with the statue and putting her hatred onto the statue. It's why she also hates the fact that we found the statue in the first place, and that she meant to burn the statue. It's why she doesn't carve statues anymore. So like at least that's one angle. So there's that side. There's a dormouse angle where the dormouse says that it will kill somebody with a wooden punch, which implies that the wooden punch could be used to kill somebody, right? And so it's like it's enough that somebody could die from a wooden punch. We know that the old lady has stopped carving for some reason and has moved on to making flowers as a way to maybe remember Lavender. So we know that Lavender's grave is over there, and the tree is saying that the flowers are gone, the flowers are stuck, and spring will never come. Spring can't come, and then that this place is. I mean, the flowers are just like. They'll never be able to grow, and they're lost, right? They're lost as in like she's picking all the flowers. She's picking every single lavender. But what other flowers are there? There's also rose hips. Rose hips are flowers too. Roses are flowers too. But how come it's saying that the flowers are lost? Why are the rose hips being lost? What does that mean, right? There's a couple of angles. One, they used to make jam with the rose hips. Maybe she ate the jam and then she tried to cure herself, but then she died trying to cure herself. Because of some prank that maybe the dormouse played. Maybe the dormouse played a prank on Lavender and killed her. But it was really what killed her was the rose hip. The dead mouse is the murderer, and the wooden owl is the tool. The dead mouse that's been dead is the murderer. I like how there's like a bunch of different things that we could do. But yeah, it's like, I do think it at least is the dead mouse. I don't think the wooden owl is the tool. I think it's owl itself that was the tool. It's the anger that she placed. Oh wait, but it's the anger that she placed on it. I guess it's like, is it anger that she placed on it? Is my character made of wood? No, we're just small. Maybe it is the thing. Because it's like, but the problem, well, we know that the horn is enough that it can kill somebody. And we know that this thing was killed because of the horn. Also, just as a reminder, you're free to speculate, but if you know the answer, hold it to yourself. Because I don't play games for you, I play games for me, right? I'm trying to think of like, what is the meaning with the statue? Because it's one thing to place your anger on the statue as if like you hate the thing itself, right? But Owl has to do the dirty work, which is interesting because Owl has to do the dirty work. What does that mean? I don't think it means that Owl killed Lavender. We know that Lavender died. And I think what it means is that Owl killed the Dormouse, which was a prankster who killed lavender, and probably was the wooden statues. And then probably was in some way the statue, the owl statue, because even she had a visceral reaction to it. Like, it could be that her hatred is placed on that versus the culprit. Maybe that's why the owl said, oh, like she was too busy not trying to find the culprit, even though and that's why the owl had to do the dirty work of finding the culprit and dealing with the culprit. Because it's like, oh, she has to kill this, like he has to kill the dormouse. That would be it. Okay, who? Owl was the one that said she died of a stupid reason. I think it is the dormouse handle, like angle. Because think about this too. That dormouse that's in there, the other thing that really solidifies that theory of like it being the dormouse pranking her, and maybe the statue or like something with the wood killing her, is that it specifically mentions the wooden punch, as in like it knows that that's a tool that could be used to kill somebody, and it specifically says that it learns from its father. Which presumably this is the father inside the shed. Because the father tells it not to go and talk to strangers. And if we assume that it's still a child, we assume that it's still learning from its parents, that it must have learned that from somewhere. Because using a wooden punch is a very specific tool. It is claws. It sees an axe. If it saw the ability for an axe to kill somebody, it would probably say that. Or if it saw the ability for a horn to kill somebody, I think it would probably use its own claws, right? That's probably the best case for it, is that it's the dormouse. The tree did it? The tree fell on her? What was the lavender thing then? Oh, the other woman. She knocked out the crazy one. Two of them got on like a house on fire. You really missed this. Which one? Who said that she died of a stupid reason? But what was the option for stupid reason? Grave. What a waste. Bearing delicious fresh corpse. She did left me in the eyes. Old lady. Violet, she's living here for some reason all alone. Nothing gives me food to chow. Maybe it was her. There's only two people that I can talk to. Suspicious hole. Are you gonna show me more? Fuck off with your hole. Wooden creatures, famous statues. By the way, one day I saw the old lady throw one of these. She was squealing like a pig being slaughtered. She was squealing like a pig being slaughtered. It was hard to watch, poor thing. She threw one of these statues inside the river, squealing like a pig. Poor thing. Throwing the statue into the water, which was the owl statue. The dormouse, dead dormouse, it's angry. It doesn't want to talk about the dead dormouse because it knows that's the thing that did. A dormouse, I knew there was one left in that hut. This is, knowing the dead dormouse and thinking about this again, this statement actually makes more sense because like, she knew that there was one left in that hut. As in like, she had a feeling there was one left. The absolute vermin. It hates dormice. They look in the shadows, and as soon as your back is turned, they're pranking you. They steal your stuff, they trash your place, and they throw at your face all the crap that they can find. At first it's funny, in the end you want to slaughter all of them. Yeah, because it's throwing crap at them. And so she gets rid of the statue. I think it is that. That's the only way that the dormouse inside the house would have learned, right? That's the father dormouse. It knew that there was one more. It killed that dormouse. It's the horn of this owl that killed that dormouse. She misplaced her hatred onto the statue. Because the owl isn't the culprit, nor is the statue necessarily. But the owl also had to do the dirty work of like helping the old lady kill the door. What is going on? Why is your head like flickering? Of killing the dormouse itself. That's why she stopped carving statues, because there must be something on the walls, like an indent of where that where that wooden owl statue was. Like, where could it have been in this house that would have killed her? Is the other question that I want to solve. They hang things. It probably, I mean, it could have been here, actually. You have your back turned. They throw all kinds of crap at you. There's an acorn on the floor. Threw all kinds of crap at you that they have. Maybe the statue was over here, the owl statue. Because that statue looks like it's big enough to be hung on a wall. It's very, very large. That's the only place that I could see it being. Is like maybe it climbed out of the hole, took the statue, threw it at the person, and they fell over, snapped the neck, and died. That's like the only way that I could see them dying. And so explain why the chest is here too, in this particular location. As if to say this is where they stood. And there's also this place over here. What's the significance of this place? Ah, this is the place where they would actually carve the statue. See that? This is their carving station. You'd have your back turned. This is the carving station where you'd make your statues. Dinner table where they eat the food. Bed, wardrobe, cauldron where they cook their food. They used to make jam, but they don't make it anymore because she hates gardening, but Lavender did used to love gardening. Violet Lavender. I think that's just a red herring because it's like she's the gardener. There's one bed here. I guess they would both sleep on the bed? I'm not really sure. And they hang... Why would they hang the dolls then? When they fall on your head. Oh, right. Oh, you're awake. I'm relieved. Take care of yourself. Actually, she did say this at the very beginning. Aren't they beautiful? They're soft. They smell good. And when they fall on your head, they don't shatter your skull. Because they're squishy. Something else? I think that would make sense then. If they don't fall on your head, then they don't shatter your skull. And I bet you if I look at that thing... Probably that. Yeah, it's a dead dormouse. That's the only way that that dormouse knows. Yeah. This would explain too, like the structure of the thing. The bottom looks large enough that it could do that. Unless you wanted to burn the thing. Okay, so statue fell on her head. She gets hit. The rose hip jam is a red herring because they just make jam. They go into the thing. I'm a little disappointed because I feel like reading that one chat message did kind of put me on that path, and I kind of wish I like went on that path naturally. But I digress. That's my problem for reading chat messages and trusting chat people. But I get it. But it all makes sense given the details that were given. There was also one thing about the axe too, actually. Do you like the interior decoration? I think it was my favorite activity. We were truly complementary. Strength and dexterity, will and intelligence. It was perfect. Something else. Lavender was the intelligent person, and she was the dexterous person. Violet was the strong person, and the willful person. So this is Violet. She's the willful and strong person. Old lady experienced CARIMARA for the problem. It's all in the sign. That's all you need to know about me. I'm a curious little guy. The key. I found the key. I opened the chest. She tells me about the chest. Lavender. Store my lavender in it to stuff my dolls. Nothing you'd be interested in. Lavender. I find the doll. You mean you weren't sure either? It just seemed like the most likely hypothesis. Yeah, I know what you mean. I just sort of like hate that because it's like, I don't care if it's your hypothesis. I care how I get there too, right? Because like, what's the point of a deductive game if not for the process of finding things? I don't necessarily blame you though, because it's like it's my fault for streaming this game. It's always sort of the concern, but it is sort of why I don't usually enjoy having. It's why one of the rules is like no spoilers, no backseating is like nothing, right? As like a failsafe against that, because like when you're playing a deductive game, every little bit of information helps you. Because even the idea of like pivoting somebody into a certain place also does that, right? Because how you come to that hypothesis is the fun part of this game. Because the conclusion altogether is boring. It's sort of like the point of the game is that the conclusion altogether is very boring. Of like, oh, she died because the statue fell on her because of the dormouse. How you get there, that like sequential process is the most fun portion of it. And even the aha moment is sort of what you're looking for. It's why. You know what? I'll say it's your fault, but it's not really your fault. It's more of a fault of just the way that we are as people. We like to say things in public to sort of express our thoughts, but in doing so, we kind of forget that people derive satisfaction from different things. And I didn't necessarily state what my satisfaction in these games was before. And the satisfaction really is trying to like slowly work towards it. Because I was slowly working towards it with the dormouse. And then when you type that, I was like, oh, it's forming in my head the same thought process that you had, but it's almost like fast forwarded, right? It's like you watch a movie, someone tells you what's going to happen, and you instantly stop there. You skip all that like pain process beforehand, and you skip all that satisfaction of eventually being able to like work through it. Not to say that I didn't also continue to work through it, but it's like I'm working from that point, which is like now it's like a known. You keep it in mind for the next investigative game. No, I'll just ban you for the next one. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I will ban you for the next one, even though I feel very tempted to. It's just a reality of like I think the idea of Twitch streaming is like, but again, it's also why my rule is like very strict on like no backseating, no spoilers, no thoughts. You know, because it's like it's fun to think of it, and then it's fun to get to the process of what it is, and then it's fun to figure it out. It's why this game is so good though, because this game doesn't give you any hints, right? So this is the reason why this game is good, is because it leaves you this open-endedness, and it's only when you backtrack that you realize what the pieces are. So I mean, let's just confirm like theory first. But I'll be doing it. But when an investigative game is good, it doesn't leave hints. It simply leaves a state of things. It leaves a state of how things were, and it leaves you like an image of what things happened and how it came to pass. It's sort of like it leaves history, but it doesn't leave hints, right? The hints are so volatile because even the smallest statement can have such a profound impact on one's ability to sort of untangle the web. Because that web of knowledge is the thing that you have to like break apart, which is again the whole point of an investigative game is untangling the web to get to the actual true thread. So, no thinking out loud. I mean, you're allowed to think. It's just the chat box can be silent. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where it's like the chat box can have a purely silent. It's like the idea of like when you type something. Why would you type something? What do you aim to get from typing this thing? You know what I mean? And I do think about that a lot in the sense of like, if you type this thing, what do you think the other person is going to get from this as well? And what do you get from this as well? Of like, especially for like this game, and especially for things like this. I always wondered this about spoilers. I used to have this one viewer who was like really adamant about wanting to spoil this game for me. And I told them about the same thing of like, even if you think you know what it is, it's better to be quiet, because that's the whole point of the process, and the whole point of the enjoyment of such an act of trying to figure things out is that you're going through this journey to figure something out. To deprive somebody of that journey and to give them the final destination is to deprive them of the learning experience and the perspective and the experience that comes with that journey, right? Like it's the very act of going on that journey gives you something. Like it gives you more capabilities, more ways, and more understanding of how to use these tools of thought for you to reach that point, such that the next time you would have that type of thinking in place to help you shortcut some of things, let's say. But in general, it's sort of to help you understand even your own flaws in your own thinking, right? That's sort of like the goal of logical puzzles. So when I think of like a Twitch message, I always think of it in the terms of like, if I say this thing, and it really even in the conversation too, I just sort of think like, why would I say this thing to somebody here? And I remember having this conversation with this one other chatter who was like very adamant about spoiling things, where they were like, I really want to tell you what this game is about, and I paused the stream and I was like, why do you want to do this? What is the reason for this? What are you depriving me of, and what are you giving me in return? Everything has a cost to it, right? I think it's fair to say that everything has a cost to it, even if the cost is a very minimal cost in the sense of like you have to think about it and you have to be aware of it. That's still a cost that somebody has to manage, and even that can be a very large cost. Like as we're seeing within the world, like even the idea of like knowing the existence of something is enough to really throw things out of like a sense of like stability, if that makes sense. Because it's like even just knowing that it's there means that you now have to deal with it. And in dealing with it, that's like energy and like space that you have to like expend to be able to like work with that. So yeah, in my mind, it's sort of like there's always a cost to everything that we say, whether we sort of are aware of it or not. But the person on the other end pays that cost always of whatever we say, and so it behooves us to be even more mindful of what we say, because we're not the ones who have to pay that cost ever. We get a selfish enjoyment from it. I even think of this in my own conversations of like how I want to like teach people certain things. Let's say, like when my niece is going through a problem and I want her, and I just want to like tell her like you really shouldn't do this. I think to myself, well, if I do that, what am I depriving her of? Right? Am I depriving her of this ability to even see these things? Like if I just give her the answer and she's left with no room to work her logical tools, she'll never have the ability to figure it out on her own, and then in that case she's worse off for it. I've now like ruined her experience. I might give her some hints if she needs it, if she like asks me for it, but for the most part, if she's looking for guidance on what I think is best as like an opinion, I might say something to that effect. But it's like, you know, I'm gonna try to get her to work through the process with my words. And this might even mean like, hey, like you gotta go talk to this person, or you gotta go figure this stuff out. Like you have to go sit down and really think about what you want from from this. And then if you still have questions, we'll talk about it after. But I want you to go through this process first, and that's on you. Spoiled life. Spoiled life. I actually do. Okay, it's funny to talk about this in the context of this game, because this game is sort of like the poster child for a game that can be spoiled so heavily. Because it's like, there's no other game genre that I think can be spoiled to a degree than a game like this. Like, of the games that can be spoiled, if you spoil the story of Persona, it doesn't really affect the game. It affects one part of the larger whole of a game, but you're still playing the game because it's Persona. Because you get to see people shoot themselves in the head and then say, oh, that was cool, I got a demon now. You know what I mean? But if I do it in real life, everyone says, no, stop. I'm just kidding, sorry. Sorry. It's really dark, sorry. So, there, it's not that much of a cost. Or, like... And that's a very story-heavy game. Like, but even in a very story-heavy game, it almost doesn't matter until you get to games like Road Warden or this game. But especially this game, right? Road Warden is interesting in that if you tell me any part of the story, and I know anything about the story, it's basically over, right? But then it's like, this game, it's different. It's a different way of it being over. In Road Warden, once you know what is going to happen from the consequences of your actions, once you know what is going to come, the weight of it sort of disappears. And all of a sudden, the choice boils down to just one. Because your choices are ultimately, in many ways, in the game, a result of what you don't know, and not really what you know. If that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, the breadth of your choices is determined by what you don't know, and the right choice is determined by what you do know. So, like, the precision of your choice, the actual weight of your choice. In this game, everything is based on what you know. Even the very gameplay mechanics themselves are based on what you know. That's why I hated the fact that it pops up with an achievement. It's like, you have all the cards. It's like, why are you telling me this? Don't tell the player that. Make the achievement about anything, about finding the eyes. Make the achievement about, like, strange things. But an achievement that just marks your progress is strange, because it's like, sure, the player has all their cards, but maybe there's a better way to communicate that. And there is, because you can't open the gates. There's no way for you to interact with things. You can only actually collect cards to, like, view things. And that's a very important state to be in, where you don't know what is or isn't a piece of information. So, but when the game tells me this, and again, my disappointment was that immediately, well, now I know. Now there's no more mystery to sort of what is the state of the game and what are the cards. Like, it's sort of strange. Let alone even like the one that's like unlock 10 cards. You've entered the shed. You've managed to get the dormouse out of the hole, and you fainted. 4 of those, I mean, even the tree one is sort of like, a lot of them are innocuous and don't really mean much, but those 2 I think are the most egregious ones, with like the card count and like knowing all the cards, right? Because once you know that you have these options, even knowing the existence of the options themselves is a spoiler. It's different from a game like Road Warden, where the game lays out all the options in the front of you and says, pick the right one. Whereas in this game, the whole point of the game is to actually figure out what the options are. It's like you're working from a pre-step where you have these cards to work with, and then you need to figure out what your options are for the truth, and then you need to present those options to the forlorn. Oh no, I don't blame somebody for doing it. It's just an accident thing. It's sort of like, you know, you want to speculate yourself on the game, but I do sort of think to myself that, like, maybe I should be more clear in the rules, and I probably will have to do this later as an update of, like, if you have any speculation, keep it to yourself. Like, you can sort of, like, I guess, because the thing about the chat, right, is like, the chat can be empty, and you can almost consume it passively, right? But it's also, if you do want to say something, I'm the one that has to incur the cost. So at least be mindful of that fact. Even if it doesn't feel like it, because it's like, oh, like, it's just a word that you can ignore. Even planting the seed of an idea can be there. You don't like the achievements that are normal gameplay, and you walked into the only door of the game, like, where you walked into the only door of the game is achievement. Yeah, I don't like them either, because it's like, not only does it, well, it's that one's like a two-sided problem, where it's like, one, it doesn't feel like an achievement. You're just doing what the game wanted you to do. It doesn't feel like you're going above and beyond to see something, like the eyes in that gap in the stairway, right? But 2, it also kind of feels like kind of what I'm talking about in terms of like now that you know the option, you know everything, but also this idea of like, also this idea of like, how do I say this? How do I say this? Also, this idea, she's right behind me. Holy shit, that's a good effect. She's right there. She's staring at me. But also this idea of, like, what's that idea? I'm trying to get like the exact words for this idea. That if, in a way, the achievement tracks the normal progress, what in the game is tracking the normal progress? Like, it's like, why is it in the achievement and why is it not a part of the game itself? You know what I mean? Like, why is it, like, me collecting 10 cards in this game is significant because I have more options to play with. That makes me happy. Me collecting all the cards in this game, as far as I can tell, without the achievement, right, would mean that, oh, I think I've got everything that I need to solve it, and maybe I'm missing something, but maybe it's just the way that I need to interpret these things, right? And that's also good, too. Like, but how come those things aren't built into the game? Where it's like, oh, you opened a door. How come it's not obvious that you need to open the door? And how come it's not obvious that this is like a major good feeling thing that you should be proud of, right? Within the game. You know what I mean? Like, that's why those achievements feel weird to me. It's because you grew up before the internet, but to me, these games gain a lot from the social aspect. Like, back in the olden days, discussing theories in school was always a huge part of the enjoyment of consuming media. I'm not saying that that's wrong. I'm not saying that, and I don't think it's necessary because you grew up before the internet, because I grew up with the internet, and I still feel that too. I think the social aspect is important. What I'm saying is that you have to, like, when you discuss a theory, it implies that you know what's going on, and it implies that you've experienced it already all the way through, and that you've had enough to even discuss the theory with. I think the stage that I was at, and the stage that this game places you at, is before that stage. Effectively, you come into a game, like, your argument only makes sense for a game that I think you play fully and then you have theories about what to do, whereas this game is about developing those theories. And so it's like, that statement, and so it's like, discussing the theories of this game is the spoilers, because it's like, there's a bunch of theories about it, but it's the whole point of it is to build a theory to present to the creature, and that's your answer. And even, again, it's the gameplay of the game itself that gets spoiled. It's unlike Persona, where if you know the story, it doesn't ruin the gameplay. If you're into the JRPG formula that it has as a Persona game, then you enjoy what it's doing, right? Like, I enjoy playing Final Fantasy XII purely for the gameplay, and I know the story. Like, I could play that game over and over and over, right? It's a very fun JRPG, almost like a build your own unit strategy type of game, right? In this game, the game is developing those theories. So it's like, when we share a theory, we also share almost the method that we get to that theory. Because how do you share your theory, your ideas about a theory, without also, by necessity, revealing that that is a possibility? You know what I mean? It's like that process of working through the unknown to get to a theory, that's what this game is about. When you share this theory, it means that, oh, you've worked through these unknowns, and therefore, oh, wait a minute, those unknowns correlate in this way. And oh, wait a minute, I forgot about those unknowns, and like, these unknowns matter. Like, it would have been more frustrating, I think, for you to watch it, because I would have been struggling with the cards, going back and forth, and then being like, what is this card? And then, what is that card? And then I would have been asking, questions to the characters, again, to see, like, okay, what are they gonna say about this? And trying to, like, piece together everything, right? But that's the fun of this game. Like, that's the thing that I think is sort of like, is difficult to comprehend, is that I'm not saying that what you're doing is wrong. I'm saying that for this game in particular, for this type of game in particular, the act of sharing that theory alone is enough to ruin the gameplay, because it effectively spoils that thread that you have to follow to get to that theory. Because the moment that you say something like that, it's like, wait a minute, that's a thread that you can follow to get to this point. You know what I mean? That's the thing that I'm trying to get at. Like, again, this is not like a pre-internet, or this is not like a timeline thing. This is not like those are sort of like, that doesn't feel like the right argument to make. I don't think it's like a personal taste matter. I think it's literally just the fact that this game in particular is a game about developing a theory. Like, this is an investigative game, but to its core, it's like a truly good, it's probably the most pure investigative game that I've ever played, right? It's sort of why it's so fascinating, in that This game is entirely about developing a theory and presenting that theory to see what happens next. So it's like, that's why it's sort of like, you know, I would be careful about like saying anything about games like this. In general, I don't say any spoiler for a game because it's like, if I don't know the game fully, then it's sort of difficult for me to say like, okay, well, what about this? Or what about that, right? But even if I know a game, it's sort of like, what am I gaining from saying it? Even though sharing the theory is cool, it's sort of like, if the game is about this, figuring out these theories, you know, what am I depriving a person of when they get that experience? The few times I think it's viable is like when somebody comes to the forum and is like, what are your theories on this? And then you can share those theories. And then the other where it's like they finish the thing and then they never even thought about it and they never even asked about it. In the sense of like, they never even be a gun to like imagine it. But they're asking questions about the experience that would eventually get there. But then it's like, again, it's sort of like that thing of like, how do you teach a person to fish without giving them the fish, right? Let me stare at the stork for this, because the stork is probably the most important image for this type of deal. Or like, even this, say the horn on the wall, what killed the thing? You have to notice this a detail, make the correlation to the horn on the creature with the statue. Okay? But how do you teach somebody to like look at that? How do you teach somebody to have that presence of mind to even be able to see something like that through? How do you teach someone to fish without giving them the fish? It's a very complicated thing. It's why often I just often don't like say anything to people, because it's like, if I'm saying something to a person, how will I know that I'm not giving them too much? How will I know that I'm giving them just enough to help guide them without necessarily depriving them of that experience of like working through that process? You do get my point. I explained it quite well. And you're not saying that I'm wrong. It's just that you personally feel differently. And I said like a general truth that you shouldn't tell others about these theories in these situations. Well, if you think that I'm right, and you think that I shouldn't tell theories about things in every situation, would you say that in another game like this, that you would say the same thing to somebody like that? You know what I mean? Like, in another game that's about figuring out what the theory is, would you still give your theories out there? And thus, in a way, reveal the thread that leads you to that theory, right? You have to tell the gamers to look up. You have to tell them to look up something! It's only a game theory. This is basically like the game theory channel. This game is a very deep game theory-esque channel, if that makes sense. It's like, but it's fascinating because the dialogue that this game has is specifically about the idea of like playing a game like this, and a game that has you making the theories and figuring out the like theories, right? But that's why it's why it's like, I don't think you get my point. It's because like, in another situation where a game is about developing the theories, if you believe that I'm correct and you do get my point, then you also believe that sharing the theory shares the thread that you get to that theory. It shares the pathway that you got there, which then binds together these details into this cohesion, which in many ways could make them exclusive from other pathways, right? Like, it really depends on the writing of the game, which I can sort of see your point there in terms of like, if the game is written so that the hints are so vague that they could be used in like other theories, then maybe it could work. But it's like, how do you know that that's the case? You know what I mean? Unless you know every single theory of the game, how do you know that that's the case? So it's like, even if you have that theory, what then do you gain from sharing it? And then again, what then do you lose from sharing it? Right? You're saying that you would understand the point you're citing, but in general, you would want this exchange with someone if the situations were reversed. So you would feel okay with losing the experience. That's interesting. So it's like, you would feel okay with losing the experience of working through the theory by somebody sharing that theory with you. That's the thing that I'm trying to understand, is that you're okay with losing the experience of working through the problem and figuring out what the problem is. And basically exercising your mental logical tools. You would gain the social experience in exchange. What is the social experience in exchange? Like, define what the social experience is to you then. Because to me, what is the social experience that we gained? Right? Even if it was a positive interaction, it's like, okay, cool. Like, positive interaction, what does a positive interaction for that social experience look like? That I know the answer, or that I have another pathway to go down the answer, and that you know the answer too? Like, what does that mean? You know what I mean? And is that worth the cost of, like, that social experience in exchange, when you could get that social experience in any other way, right? It's sort of like interesting to because to me it's just a different, like, I'm not saying that your viewpoint is like wrong. It's just it's an interesting viewpoint, because for me it's like I don't play games for the social experience in that light at the cost of the gameplay. If it's a social experience that enhances the gameplay, I enjoy that. Like, I think a game theory for this game, for a game like Undertale, where it's like, what is the gas series? I think that's an interesting social experience to gain, because nobody really has an answer, and we're all trying to figure out what this is, and everyone has different theories, and you can use those theories to build on your own. But a game specifically like this, that is about the deductive experience, that is about building your understanding of the world and the theories that the game wants you to go down, because it's a deductive sort of investigative game. The social experience takes away from that entirely and gives you in return what? It gives you a conversation. It's like, what is the conversation? The conversation is that I think it's this, and it's like, oh, maybe it is this because of this. Good call. And from that, I lose this of like, wait a minute, this person said this, and then, oh, wait a minute, but then this line relates to like this. You gain having a fun interaction and figuring out that maybe both conversational partners are wrong, and you can bounce off of each other and polish your thoughts. I get it. Well, so that's, I think, a good angle, but again, it's like, is it maybe then that the approach is sort of like too far in? Like, the thing that I'm trying to get at is that, like, couldn't you have that by talking about the specific points too, of like, hey, like, what about these different points that this person has like said, like maybe referring specifically to the conversations that the character said instead, because it's like, in that case, isn't the discussion not necessarily about I think this is the answer, but about like, oh, what about the things that this character said? Like, I think this character said something about wanting to drop something on someone's head, and also like this character said something about like this thing would like throw things at someone, and then this character said something about like, oh, like this and that, right? Like, wouldn't that be a more meaningful discussion? Because then it's like, hey, think of these perspectives. Because then that at least wouldn't go so far as to like almost give away the final piece of like a long chain of thought, and you're just giving each piece of a chain of thought as it is, each like atom of knowledge that you're working with, and then it's up to the person receiving that to still think about it. Like, basically what I'm saying is bouncing off the ideas, right? It's not like bouncing off a whole idea. Isn't it also like you want them to be able to bounce the ideas too? So wouldn't you want to give them the pieces to like work with too? Because in my mind, that's a more meaningful interaction. Because then it's like, wait a minute, you're right. That character did say something like this, and now that you said that, I wonder if it relates to this and that. What do you think? You know what I mean? Versus like, I think it's this, and then it's like, oh wait, why do you think it's this? It's because of this, this, and that. And it's like, oh, okay. Well, I mean, I guess the whole thread is there, so I guess just let me try it. Because that's the whole game. The whole game is literally just, okay, I think it's this. Okay, let me try it. But it's also like, but like that's the thing, is like, I think it's this because of this, this, and this. It's the because portion that's like interesting about games like this, right? So it's like going too far is like, maybe it's like when you go too far, maybe then is it even worth having that statement of like, oh, what about this whole theory? What about, maybe these points here specifically, right? You like someone theorizing with you who has not played the game and is thinking a different process than you are as you play. If they played the game before, then it's not fun. Give me a second, I have to respond to my... Okay, I'm back. Like, how do you as the person playing the game know that they haven't played the game before? Like, this is the thing, right? I don't think it matters whether or not somebody has played the game before. This is the thing about games like this in particular, where it's like, if you don't, like... Because from the context of from my perspective, right? It's like, whether or not this answer is correct or not, how do I know that this answer comes from a place of pure speculation and like working through that process versus that they've played the game before? If they happen to be right, from my perspective, it looks the same. From my perspective, if this theory is correct, then it just looks like this a person threw out like a very poor hint of like, oh, like they threw out this like poor hint, and they were trying to like mask the fact that they knew the answer because they played the game before. But they didn't mask it well enough to the point where it actually felt like a real hint. You know what I mean? And a real hint, I think, to me in this case would be speaking specifically about the things that people say and like the existence of them and sort of like what do those things mean, or like what could they mean, right? I think that's a much more fascinating angle to go for because there's more variation and there's more sort of like uncertainty there if you want to like keep the experience without taking away from it while still giving a social experience. Because it's like, just because you tell me that this thing said this thing, like what did the, like if you just say, like if we discuss what like the mouse said where it's like, where like the dormouse enjoy throwing things at somebody and then the old lady says that, you know, the dolls are soft when they fall on your head, right? It still doesn't link me to the idea of this. It's like saying that doesn't link me to the idea of this, but we can have but because there's so many different ways that could go, we can have this discussion about like, okay, why is that important within these different contexts, right? That's what I mean. Like, it's specifically these types of games is that like in these specific types of games where you're trying to make a theory to go on to figure out what the thing is, like a deductive investigative game, saying the theory wholesale I don't think is a productive nor fun social exchange. I think it's actually better that you take a step backwards and you talk about specifically the steps that somebody would try to get there, specifically the atoms of knowledge that you're working with, like those singular knowledge, like knowledge bits and concepts. That to me is an interesting social exchange. Fair. That I guess is a specific issue of streaming where you don't know as much about the person. So I don't think it's a matter of knowing the other person. That's the thing that I'm trying to argue here, is that if in the social exchange you gain sociability but you lose on the gameplay, what I'm arguing is that there's a way to preserve the gameplay while still having a social experience. And what I'm arguing is that giving the theory, giving the meat of the game, is not the same as giving the ingredients. You can give the ingredients, and you can even talk about the ingredients, and still wouldn't give the meat away. But that's how you would be able to like have a discussion about changing somebody's way of thinking about things. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I mean by like, I don't think it's a streaming thing. I don't think it's a person thing. I don't think it's like a time period thing. I don't think it's a who you are type of deal. I think specifically, it's the way that we choose to share these things and the goals by which we have when we share these things that matters the most. Because if the goal is to have a social exchange, and if the goal is to make sure that the person playing the game still has a good time playing the game, then I think the goal should not be to share the theory wholesale, which is the thing in an investigative deductive game that is the meat of the game. It's the very objective of the game is to figure out what is going on, but instead to share the ingredients. There's a talk about the fact that, you know, that statement from the old lady about things falling was strange, how she mentioned that like things fall on people's heads. And it's like, wait a minute, you're right. But then it's like, why is it strange? You know what I mean? It still doesn't answer why it's strange to me, but it's still, at least it gives me this idea of like, wait, that was something to be said, and maybe every word in this game has some meaning that I should think about. And really, you can apply that, I think, to any sort of investigative deductive game, right? I think it's actually a genre-specific thing. I don't think it's like a person thing. I don't think the person matters. I think it's a genre-specific thing. And this genre is just interesting because this genre has overlap with the idea of like the growth and someone's personal journey too. It's why I related it to the idea of me teaching my niece, where it's like I don't want to deprive her of the experience of going through it herself, even if she would benefit from the exchange of knowledge, right? The streaming thing was specifically about one not knowing if the other person is speculating or spoiling. Oh, I see what you mean. Right. Yeah, that's a good point actually. Okay, yeah. Once you reframe it like that, I agree too. Yeah. Because then it's like, yeah, it's exactly that. Where it's like it's just hard to tell because from your perspective, it's almost like it really is just sort of like a wall where it's like it's sort of hard to see like what's what's beyond it. Okay, I get what you mean now. The share the ingredients part, you already said that you agree. Oh yeah, you did because you said that you agree with the last part. Right? Okay. But again, in so doing, right? I do think this has resulted in an interesting discussion because it's helped me solidify my thoughts on why games like this are so hard to stream. Because there's sort of this idea of like why these games are hard to stream. There's something inherent to them that we feel is hard to stream, but we don't necessarily know why. And we know that we need these rules intuitively, but I can't explain in words why. But at least through this experience, I now have a good way of explaining, I think, well, it probably could be better, Actually, no, it could definitely be better the way that I explain it, but at least I have some starting point for how to explain why I feel like these games, I think, need that idea of like that almost like a room dedicated to silence, but also not being so restrictive so as to be like, I don't know, like a sub-only mode. But at least with the idea and putting it into everyone's mind that when you share something, think of the cost of it. And if you're going to share something, try to share it in a way that invites discussion. It makes sense. So you just have to have chat in emote-only mode. Yeah, you're agreeing that you can't tell if it's a guest or someone actually telling you or coaching you. Yeah, but it's like, I don't want to go into the emote-only mode thing because it's like, on the one hand, I don't know, because it's like, how would you know? On the other hand, again, like, you can have a discussion about this. I actually think it's still valuable to have a discussion about it, but it's like, it's just like, it's just the intensity of the discussion that I think has to be sort of like pulled back into its like core form. Because when you go too far, it's like, then the answer is gone. It's specifically, it's why I say it's a genre problem, because specifically with these games, the theory is the game. Like getting like that movement through, I mean, look at the water. The movement through this mess, through this water, like you wading through that noise and getting to like a rock somewhere. That's the important part. Why is the water so oily? Your water doesn't look like that. That's why you're dehydrated. The more swirls, the more your water, the more swirls the taste your water has, the tastier it is. Oil up, oil up. Yeah, it is true. Think about this, okay? Think about this. Think about this. Think about how. When was the BP oil spill? BP oil spill. It was 2010. Chat, I can tell you, in my heart of hearts, the flavor of my tap water post 2010 went up way higher. Oh god, sorry, I'm hiccuping at the same time. The flavor of my water after 2010 went way higher. You keep staring at the stork weirdly extending its neck. Yeah, I couldn't get the effect, but I think what they were going for was the same effect of like you know, sometimes when you see water at an angle, I forget the name of the effect, but like it looks like things are longer. So it's like you can stick your dick inside the water, and then you like say, "Hey everyone, look, my dick is so long," and then you pour it, but then you pull it out, and it's like a small shrimp. I think that's what it was going for. But I think the unsettling thing is that there's no in between for the stork going inside the water. Like the stork has almost like a very very stuttery animation, which is intended because it gives you this unsettling feeling of it almost transforming into something that is almost inhuman, right? Of all the things to stick water into, you think of that? I don't know why. I just thought, you know, like lengthwise, that's probably the important part, right? Yeah, you were just thinking that we did end up gaining a cool discussion from it. But at what cost, okay? At what cost did we gain this discussion, huh? It costed me everything. This discussion cost me everything. Did I see the ending? No! No, stop saying it. Stop. You missed the whole point of the discussion. +2, that's a good joke. Hey, did you see the ending? It's just like this. Hey, have you seen the ending yet? It's just like this. I can't believe that she did that. It's like, whoa! This game was Sticky's life. Well, not like my life, but definitely the enjoyment of it. It's like, I enjoy having experiences, right? I think one of the things about streaming that's sort of interesting is that, or just playing games in general, is that you are experiencing the way that somebody has created something, but in experiencing the thing that they've created, you're experiencing the way that they see the world too. You're experiencing their perspective. I'm experiencing the game developer's perspective when I play the game, and that perspective is not my own. And so it's one of the few ways that we actually get to share our perspective on the world. Because even writing something as simple as like a very sort of like cliche, morally good character says to me that, oh, this perspective actually does exist. Because for somebody to want to write this, to make this and like make this come to life, it means that somebody does believe in the moral good of the world. I'm a cynic. I'm a nihilist. I believe that life should be extinct. No, I'm just kidding. but you know what I mean? Like even the cliches have their value because it's like, oh, it's further proof of the existence of life beyond the walls of my mind, if that makes sense. Which I think is like a genuinely beautiful thing. And this game in particular is just a really good deductive game. Because again, if you look at all the evidence of how we get to this conclusion of the thing in the water, right? I like in saying that it's in the water, it revealed so many different threads that instantly binded together and then hung on much stronger than anything else. But this is also with the fact that everything that these characters are saying is surreal, which makes it difficult to parse, but specifically also extremely thoughtful in the way that it's not that everything that these characters have said is imprecise. Like every single word that these characters have said could apply to anything else. There's so many different things that could have happened. There's so many different threads that the game can pull you down that like the way that this game is constructed, it's one of the best. Very short if you get it right, but like it's one of the best deductive games I've ever seen. Because you go into it with no idea of what's happening, you still have no clue, but you can work everything out even though nothing is clear. It's a very fantastic way of doing it, and it doesn't feel overly obvious, right? You have to in a way it requires you to understand the emotions behind somebody, to make assumptions about the emotions, and to understand the hidden meaning behind people's words. It's a very interesting exercise because it's like the language so far used within the game has not been simple. It's not the same as like, I did this, I killed her, I went to poop in the toilet. It's a very complex way of writing. That the old lady poured her hatred into this statue instead of finding the true culprit. It's very almost Shakespearean in that sense, where like such a small sentence can have such a large amount of meaning, or like any other such a great author in the world seems to command, right? Like to me, like a masterful author is somebody who can say many things with very few words and can mean so much with very little, and it invites you the player to understand what they meant. Yeah, this game was really good so far. Yeah, I just feel like it's like a really solid experience. Nihilism gang plus anti-natalism question mark. Well, life is a little complicated, and like I really having kids is kind of bad, but the GDP thing is a good argument for it. So it's like I don't know. I enjoy raising my niece, but if I had to choose whether or not I was gonna like if I could go back in time and then it was like, would I have my niece? You know what I mean? Like if I could choose, I would arguably say no. And it's not necessarily anti-natalism. It's more so like she would have had a better life having not lived the struggle that she had. You know what I mean? Like, that's my main argument for anti-natalism. What's next? I don't know. We just present a theory and we see what's up. I really was hoping I could present its dead dad, though. Like, I really was hoping I could tell it that its dad died. And then I was hoping it would cry or something. I don't know why. It's like a Schadenfreude thing where it's like I wanted to see it cry at the knowledge of its father having died, fallen down, like having been murdered by the owl. But this is a good consolation prize. I do want to take a moment to look at these statues. So I was trying to take a look at them before, but like I never really took a look at the statue specifically. Like this statue is interesting in that. Now say that to my niece. I think my niece would agree. She's actually we've actually like told her a lot of like we've actually had like very deep discussions about this stuff. Let's just say that she's I feel really bad for her. You know, it's why I try my best to be in her life, because it's like she has no one left. I mean, that's kind of what anti-natalism is in most of its iterations. That is true. This thing is fangs. Just before the theory being completely wrong. Yeah, exactly. Hands like, damn it. It's not actually good. How old is my niece? She's like 15 or 16. No, she's 16 now. She's graduating in June. So she's gonna turn 16 in a bit, and then she'll be graduating within next to June. So it's like it's fast. She's like old. Also, you know what I did notice actually from all these statues? Did you notice something common to all these statues that I didn't notice before? And sort of, I'm glad that I'm down here to see it. I mean, I won't show the statue outside, but it looks like owl with the horns on the head, right? The three horns. I don't think the theory is completely wrong. I actually think it's too much on the money. It's why it's like when I said that it was like so on the money, I think it was like true, because it's like even look at the statues that are being thrown away, right? You have this statue which has a broken horn in the middle, and the horns look a lot like the owl statue horns. And so I think there's even like a literal sense of like what the owl was talking about, taking out her anger, misplaced hatred on the other statue. And so it was like, oh, taking out her anger on the misplaced statue, she's taking out her anger on another statue. But I think maybe this was the statue that killed her because of the broken horn. But either way, all the statues that have been made, look at their construction, except for the frogs. The frogs and the cat, but even the cat sort of has this. A lot of them have these pointy bits, pointy horns, pointy fangs, pointy fangs, pointy horns. They all have some bit in them that could absolutely cause some major damage were to fall. Even the ears and the face and stuff. Yeah, Kirby horns. How do you also know about the Kirby horns? The stork even, right? I didn't actually realize that their life was like they were surrounded by spiky creatures. Though what the hell is this? What is this? I just realized. Of the creatures that we saw, actually. Wait a minute. Yeah, she's still there. We saw the stork. We saw the deer. The deer was a spirit. We saw the deer. We've never seen the Cthulhu monster. We've seen the frogs. We've never seen a cat, but cats are like your basic standard animal. It's like if you're gonna make a world, if you're gonna make any world, if you were like commissioned to make like a whole world, the first two animals you would add is dog and cat. We've never seen this in the world, though. It's like, if the statues come from things that they know, what are these things that they are creating statues out of that we don't see? You know what I mean? Like, how come we haven't seen that thing there? And the frog one is just, like, weird. I don't know why she's doing the frog one. I'm assuming the frog one, based on what the frogs are saying, is maybe lavender, and it's like, oh, lavender's the reason why she was making that statue is because she loves the frogs and takes care of them. Hello, frogs. You slowed me down. I had to jump. Anyways, what was the thing that I had? I pondered your questions. Okay, yeah. Who were you? You were Lavender. Who killed you? The dormouse. The dead dormouse. What killed me? I wish there was a way to say just a statue and not the owl statue. So what happens now?
Little one,
Forgive me for being harsh with you. I wasn't myself. Thanks to you now, I am at peace. She's at peace, everyone. Oh, nice. We solved it. Wait, so that's it? Oh God. Oh, Jesus. Oh, God. I think you're right. My memories are hazy, but I am Lavender. I died some years ago. A dormouse threw a statue at my head. Okay, I thought my theory was that the dormouse scared her or something, played a prank on her, but it is true, they are known to throw things. Which means that the statue was probably hung by the bed, by the hole, as I said, or she was downstairs where she was carving the statues. Because again, but it's like, I still know, because I still wonder where she died, but maybe that doesn't matter, but I am curious about the exact circumstances. What an awful fate. What an awful fate. Hello, Violet.
Lavender. Lavender, is that really you? How is this possible? I thought I would never see you again.
I haven't been able to maintain the garden. Everything's a mess without you. And also what? Why is it so goddamn quiet all of a sudden? This game has a bit of a volume mixing issue where like some things are really loud and it peaks way too high and other things are really, really quiet.
The whole village thinks I killed you. How could I do such a thing? Only the owls still tolerate my company. I miss you so much, my love.
Violet, you should have got that pest control first. You like that angle with her looming above me. Something about this game's visual style is very interesting. I mean, the whole game's visual style is sort of... The visual style itself, I mean, this is why I think that this is sort of the best deductive game that I played in a very long time, is because even the art has this sense of misdirection that you would find within a deductive game. Because the art is scary, it's terrifying, it's like darkness. Things loom over you because you're so small. The perspective of you being the CARIMARA, being the size that you are, and having everything else be so large, and having all these things around you, it's that way that it makes you feel feeble in the world. And it's the way that it makes everything feel so scary because it's the unknown, because we can't see very clearly within the dark. The dark is this like instinctual fear, right? So it's like, even steeped within the game's art, you get the sense of that deductive gameplay of like what is really going on here. What are these veils being pulled over our faces? All right, sorry. Don't worry. Thanks to this little CARIMARA, the nightmare is over. You're perfect. I'm with you now. Wait, you're gonna possess her? And I will haunt you for... What? It'll haunt you forever? They were... Okay, I hate these achievements so much. Not that this is a bad achievement, but the achievement was they were good friends, in quotes, according to his historians. Which is sort of like the joke of like the Sappho and her friend thing, right? The Sappho and her friend deal. That was a cute ending. It's a very good game. It's very short, but I think it really depends on how long you play it, right? Because it's like, eventually we would have come to that conclusion, but at some point, it's like, some people may never come to that conclusion. And again, with the combinations that you have like, I don't know, like what, 12 cards, right? What's like the thing? It's like the 12 combinations, like the 12 factorial. That's like, what, like over 1,000 combinations? So it's like, if somebody's brute forcing it, they'll be stuck there for a very long time brute forcing things. And it's not obvious what happens too. You have to be very observant of what people say. I actually sort of think it's better that it's short, because it's fascinating. This game is really one of the best deductive games I've played in a while. Exactly. The Roommate. Exactly. Because like, oh, that's a cute ending image. Wow. There's a secret ending. Thank you for playing CARIMARA to the end. I put a lot of love into it, and I love spending time on every detail and secret in it. I'd like to do other little episodes if this one's successful or not. Don't hesitate to follow me to find out about my next projects. If you've seen the game on stream or on video and liked it, I don't hesitate to buy it anyway to show your support. It costs about the same as a good sandwich. See you soon. Take care. Basnus Rex. When you say that there's a secret ending, you're taking something away from me. You're taking something away from me, chat. No. I'm just kidding. I know that you're memeing. Or are you? I was thinking like maybe there could be like a different set of endings. Like what if you accidentally accuse some of the creature, right? Because the ghost itself doesn't know what happened. The ghost doesn't know what went down. It doesn't know what's going on. So what if I do blame the owl? But there is something with the tree too, where it's like the tree just sort of sits there and it says, my flowers are now lost. And it makes you wonder, what is the point of the flowers? Actually, just in case, let me just try the flower angle. Because I did want to see what the tree said. I actually didn't get the chance to like listen to the tree fully. Can I skip all this? I just want to see the like, tree. Can I reload scene? But yeah, it's a very good game. I think you can't brute force the game. You have to think about everything. Everything about this game is steeped in that deductive manner, and the story is extremely compelling. It's a very good story. This idea of like two lovers who, you know, one is effectively being framed by the circumstances. It's not even framed as like a conscious, intentional thing. They're being framed by the circumstances to have been made out as the one who killed someone. You know what I mean? That's a fascinating story concept, because the idea of framing someone in many games, that concept usually is very obvious, like the cyberpunk Dex killing you thing, right? Where it's like, oh, Dex kills you and you because he wants to frame you and stuff. It's a very basic, usually in its execution, if not almost always. Like I can't even think of even one where the framing was actually so good that it even fooled me, right? But this whole game, this entire game, the framing of it, the ability for it to frame this character in particular, to say that, oh, this is what happened to this character, and sort of this is how we believe it to have happened to this character, and then it making you believe that's pretty cool. IMO, that's like pretty cool, but very No, yeah, I have no complaints. I was thinking like maybe it could be a little too. I was thinking like maybe the framing is a little bit too on the nose at the end, but I think it's perfect that it ends so obviously, right? I was thinking like maybe the ending is so being so revealing is almost like a letdown, but actually it even though it felt a bit anticlimactic, I think that was sort of the best way to handle it, because then it's like, ah, yes, there's resolution. Because the story is about a person's closure. The story is about a person's ability to feel free from what happened, from effectively an accident. And we know that the old lady carries the anger within her because the dormouse is dead and the statue is inside the water. There's an anger in her that is still there, and without that anger, you know, she's free now. Though it does make me wonder about the shovel and stuff too. But yeah, but one thing that I was thinking about and that I was saying, the game is the perfect length. A lot of these games can go a bit too long, but the thing about a deductive game is that you deal with the frame of... I forget the actual term for it, but I think you are intuitively aware of this concept if you even if you don't know the term. So I'll describe it by the feeling. The way that you can't seem to hold everything in your mind. That feeling. The way that things tend to fall out of your brain and you don't remember anymore past like a couple minutes, or how if you try to think of too many things and try to remember too many things, it feels like something else is lost in that process, right? That storage capacity of your brain. That's interesting to me because in a short game like this, you don't run into that issue. You thought that I was gonna say it falls out of my butt. No. It's that's the poop from the milk that I drank. It's the perfect length where you never... It's the RAM. Yeah, exactly. It's like a computer. It's like computer RAM, except RAM is more durable. So it's specifically the way that just human brains are. It's just really hard to remember everything all at once, right? A lot of these games, like Road Warden, so we're gonna go back to Road Warden at some point. But one thing that I had to do was I had to like go back through the game, rewatch the VODs, take a note of everything that I did, take note of all my thoughts at that time, take note of all these different things that I vocalized, and also take note of the things that I've seen in order to build a working history again so I can continue the game. And now I have a working log of it, but if I didn't have that, I'd be so lost. But even while I was playing it, I was forgetting details even when it was a consistent thing. Because the longer it is, the more you have to remember. And notes are only one tool, but it's sort of weird, but like notes for me are sort of weird in that you only take the most important bits to you at that moment. Like from your notes, you only truly remember the thing that strikes you as the most important at that very moment that you take that note, but not necessarily what is the most important thing from that note. Like a note could be a full quote from someone, and I might be misinterpreting the quote, but because of that misinterpretation, I believe that that's the most important thing, and so I remember that. But because I don't remember the words, I'll never remember the other ways that they could have been in a interpreted type of deal. This game doesn't run into problems like that. You don't have to deal with this sort of lossy nature of the human brain. Everything is there for you, and the very mechanic of the game is so good because the very mechanics of the game deal with the bits of knowledge directly. There's no abstraction almost. It's almost a direct one-to-one in terms of what you have available for you to use, what is used to figure out the ending of the game, and what is ultimately the bits of knowledge that you would have to like think about to like get to a conclusion of something, right? I think that's a fantastic way of doing things, and it's honestly a very surprisingly innovative game in that sense, because I haven't seen a single other deductive game that does something like this. It's actually so good of a mechanic that I think this is going to spawn a series of other deductive games that are going to really think about how you make a deductive experience, like an investigative style game that feels like this. Because the closest thing that we have to this is really like a point and click adventure, like ye old point and click adventures from like ye old times, right? But even those have a bit of like a lossy problem where they're too long, and the things that you have are almost like that. Where the things that you have are almost always divorced from the context in which they reside in, if that makes sense. Like you might have a wine bottle that you have to throw at someone's head, but it's like the wine bottle. Where did it come from? It's like having a card that is the CARIMARA and the ragdolls. Like everything has a very strong context. It really goes to show the strength of the writing in this game too. So it's good. You're sorry that was very good. Sorry for ruining the last S3. No. You don't have to be sorry because it's not your fault. Like, that's why I said specifically it's not your fault. I recognized immediately it's a matter of perspective and framing because of the game type that we're playing. Like, it's just a genre problem and it's just a streaming problem. It's like one of those two things. But it's also hard to explain because even thinking about it now, I don't think there's any rule set that you could make that would help people understand it, because it's like, it's almost like a lived experience. Like, you have to go through the game and you have to appreciate the fact that it's an investigative game to understand why that would be the case, right? I'm lucky in that everyone here is sort of like, I think it's vaguely aware of that, right? At the very least, vaguely aware of that. And at the most, you've like definitely done it. So it's like, it's easy to, but it's like, for somebody who doesn't know, you know, they're going through it too, then you have to get into the idea of like, okay, what is communication, and like, how do we feel when we like say things to people, and how do I communicate like the cost and the benefit of like words said, right? Slow job will be a CARIMARA like ye old boomer times. If slow job ever gets made. You also feel the need to replay the game that you stopped and in order to continue, and you never do and never finish the like game. Yeah, because it's like, I mean, I don't feel the need to. I just want to. Like, the key is that I do want to. But yeah, it's just hard to replay games. Like, again, this is a perfectly sized game. It's short if you're good at the game, but if you're good at the game, then I think you appreciate even more how good the game is. Like, you would appreciate the short length. It's like it's actually kind of the perfect game. Wait, can I say something? If you're good at the game, you appreciate how short the game is because you know that you were only able to make it so short because you were good. It is a pure deductive skill-based game. If the game took a long time, you also appreciate the game because you enjoyed the difficulty of working through it to eventually come to the conclusion. If you never finish the game, you need to go back to school. It's a commentary on our failing education systems. Talk to me, tree. Talk to me. The tree doesn't want to talk to me anymore. What? The tree doesn't want to talk to me anymore. That's weird. Why is the, why do you not want to talk to me? You killed the tree. Good job. Well, how come he doesn't want to talk to me anymore? Wait, no, it's nighttime. Maybe he fell asleep. Chat, maybe he just fell asleep. Nighttime. Now I see how the one thing that is kind of weird is that this game was a little hard to see what is night and day, but I just need to look up. Maybe one of the intro scenes could maybe show the tree, you know what I mean? Could show, sorry, not the tree, but like the moon, where it's like, oh, you see the moon, and then you can like look at the moon, and then you know what's going on. So that you know what to look at for like time and day. See? Gamers need to be told to look up. I think so, yeah. Wait, that was fascinating. The owl said that, still here, are you ready to settle in here, or are you looking to settle in here? And it's weird that the owl would say that I'm ready to settle in here, even though it's technically my first time in this playthrough. This doll looking down is kind of freaky. Hey, Rosip. I'm out. By the way, I think I might have bugged something. Okay, some Rosip, haha. I think I have 2 Rosip cards. I do. So, because you can click on any of the Rosips, it'll give you a Rosip card. I clicked too quickly on both Rosips to get both Rosips. Things are pretty long ago. We used to make jam out of it, but I don't feel like doing that anymore. I don't like it anywhere. There's like different bits of the game that are still sort of weird, because like, maybe that chatter wasn't lying about the secret ending. Maybe that chatter was actually serious about the secret ending. Because I was thinking about this too. It's like, is it true that not everything is in use? Right? Like, why would they mention the rose hip? Smile. Okay, you know what? I have a new rule actually. I was telling my wife this. One of the things that I'm gonna start doing is like, if you actually did spoil me, you get banned. If you didn't spoil me, then you didn't get banned. And vice versa. If I ask for help and you give me an answer and it doesn't help me, you get banned. But if it does help me, then you don't get banned. It ups the antes. Like it ups the antes a lot. Because it's like the ban is not a permanent ban. The ban is like it'll be like a half an hour ban, right? Or like a timeout. Well, or maybe like a day ban. So it's like, do you sacrifice yourself for comedy? Or do you submit to authoritarianism? So don't talk and don't get banned. Well, no, it's do you want to rebel against me or do you want to suffer the consequences of being here? You want to gaze upon her again? Just look at her one last time. Maybe the frogs are a representation of her thoughts. Bring her back. She must return. I don't know. Hello? So, Wishol, what was I? Wishol was I? Huh? Wishol was I? I mean, what if I just give you the answer right away? What if I give you the answer right away and I say what killed you? Does it just instantly end? Have you tried rethinking things from the beginning without missing anything with a fresh look? Sometimes... What? What may seem to... Something... Why is the words all messed up? What seems pointless at first glance hides the greatest truths. Oh. I see why the words were messed up. The words were messed up. The words were messed up because it makes you think about the idea of... things may seem pointless at first glance. Like, that's another thing that was interesting about the writing is that, like... Or, like, just in general, the game's mechanics. They do a lot to like, play with the game's mechanics in a way that feels similar to, like, how Undertale sort of would, if that makes sense, right? And there was a great example, because it's like, oh, you... The character, the forlorn, wants to tell me about the fact that, like, oh, you have to be careful because some details that may have seemed pointless might not be pointless. And in doing so, at first it says a garbled mess, and then it says the same thing to really drive home the point that it is important for you to like look at it again. It's still nighttime. I need to go talk to the tree. Let me speak to your tree. I'm assuming daytime is when the tree talks to me. Because my flowers wake up in the morning. Morning flowers. Is that what they call them? Morning glory? Or is that like a euphemism for penis? It still doesn't want to talk to me. I think I killed the tree. What did the tree say? Oh shit, but what did the tree say? See? This is why. Remember how I said that road warden and why notes don't really help you? Because you only remember things in the context when you see them based on what you believe is most important. I didn't think the tree was important, so I forgot. But now I'm like, what is the tree saying? I kind of wish I knew, but the tree is dead. Even though I restarted the game, the tree is still dead. Damn it. Okay, let's just speedrun the reunification. Something about being a tree. It was more than that. I swear there was more. It was something about... Look at my Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Hey everyone, welcome to my video. Today we're gonna talk about some Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I got a 3-pack of Yu-Gi-Oh cards from Amazon, and then number 14, the haunted Yu-Gi-Oh video. In this video, a famous Yu-Gi-Oh streamer was showing off their new cards from the new pack, when in the background, when they moved the cards away from the camera, you could see a ghost staring at them. Number 15, the haunted fleshlight. One day, this person used their fleshlight to have a little fun time by themselves and cleaned up after themselves, only to find that the next morning it was still slimy. This ectoplasm was found all over their dresser drawer, all over their floor, all over their hands, all over their penis. Woo! fingerprints all over the penis. But yeah, the reason why I kind of want to do it again is because it's interesting because the character doesn't remember. Their memories were hazy, which says to me that maybe they don't truly remember, right? Because their memories were hazy. It's been some years ago. However, Violet also recognizes Lavender, so maybe that's not true. Because again, I really want to ban this chatter if it is true that there's a secret ending. Like now I want to put it into practice. And I also want to see what happens if you beat the game from the very beginning. Like with no delay. Like there must be a speedrun category of like time to solving murder, time to cold case being solved, time to wait, chat. New investigative detective idea, chat. You said it as a joke. I know, but like I want the opportunity. Like if it's true, you could be the first victim of like a half an hour timeout. What the fuck is this music? Wait, sorry. Look at this music. Modest Mussorgsky, Night on Bald Mountain. Night on the Bald Mountain? What song is that? What? Bald Mountain? What does that mean? I just want to see what happens if you like beat the game ASAP. Does the game do anything cool if you beat the game immediately? Also, so this is my idea, okay? But a lot of love now, a lot of spending time. Imagine, by the way, the secrets in the game. It's sort of weird that the character, that even at the end of the game, they mention the secrets of the game. Like that's what makes me think that there's secrets in the game. Like it's not just the secrets of the characters. I think there's actual secrets in this game that are missing. Detectives should do speedrun categories for cold cases, because then you tap into the natural obsession of a gamer, of a speedrunner, to get the best time. So if you want to solve a cold case as like a detective, I think what you should do is have like a leaderboard of like, you know, cold case solving times. And then it's like, oh shit, like people might actually take it seriously. Like if there's a competition to solve cold cases of like murders, I think people would be way more ecstatic about trying to get them solved, right? Or like other crimes. Just like any crime. Like any crime, so there should be world record speedruns to solving what is the truth about it. And it's like time to sentencing or like time to like jail time. I don't know. That could be good. This game made me miss my wife, so let me just text her because I miss her. I actually do sort of think of like how much I would be like. That's the thing too about this game that's fascinating. So even in the game's writing, right? If you know that this is their partner, you sort of think to yourself, could they be so evil so as to kill their partner, but why are they not killing me, right? There's sort of this idea of like, if they're truly that evil, wouldn't they also kill me? So it's sort of like when I saw her expression, it was creepy, but in recontextualizing it, I realized it's kind of sad actually. Like her face looks sad, as if like she doesn't have anyone there with her because her partner is gone, and so she misses them. Give me two. I get 2 rosebud cards. I get that. Give me owl. Long range card collection. And I just want to see what happens if you beat the game. And maybe the tree is alive again. The shovel is also a gardening tool. Well, I guess the gardening... Maybe the point of the gardening tool... Because I was curious about the gardening tool. Because I was like, what's the point of the gardening tool? I think the point of the gardening tool is to make you think that she did kill her because she's the one who dug the grave. Let me just go over here. I just need... Also, I see why this game doesn't have cloud save, so my brother is fine. He can play the game. It's good. I have this. I go to this thing. I'm going to ask her about the shovel again. I just want to make sure that there's nothing that I missed. I swear it feels like there has to be more that I missed somewhere. You know what I mean? Yeah, okay, cool. So, wait, if you're here... first off, let me tell you about this shovel. Hey. Shovel, gardening tool. I don't like gardening. I tried, but I just can't do it. Something else? Oh. Maybe that's why the tree died. Maybe that's why the tree died. The tree died because there's no gardening tools. Because the gardener is that low? Gardening tool. The garden used to be beautiful and well maintained, and now it's hard to hunt with all these weeds. There's nothing left to put in Gullet. How sad. I wonder why I still stick around. That's mercy, I guess. I wonder why I still stick around. That's mercy, I guess. Mercy? Mercy? A weird phrase. There's a house over there. Mercy. Why is it mercy? Mercy because they don't want the old lady to be alone? How the fuck do you talk to the tree again? Alright, fuck the tree. I don't give a shit. Let's just get it done in one shot. Just see if there's anything different. If there's nothing different, I immediately alter for. We know that this game is good. Maybe the game has no secrets. Maybe the game is just a one shot. It just feels like... You know what it is? Maybe it's bad that the game is so short. I'm flip-flopping on my opinions. Spoil everything. Spoil everything. Hit the tool with a wooden tool. Hit the tree with a wooden tool. The game doesn't let me. I'm trying to commit murder. It doesn't let me. Maybe it's bad that the game is so short because it fools the player into believing that there's more. You know what I mean? Like, maybe the one thing that I can see that's going to be very detrimental to this game is the idea of like, wait, that's it? Where you go, well, wait, that's all there was, right? Instead of like, ah, shit, there's nothing left. Like maybe what we... Is that... I'm naked? He doesn't know. He doesn't know. Mods, as soon as I say go, get ready to time that person out for 5 minutes. If there's a secret ending. Get ready to pull the trigger. You're on the watch, buddy. You're on the watch. Can I just leave? I mean, we are... Okay, so I know that you're Lavender. What if I say that you're the forlorn? Who killed you? Dead dormouse. With... the wooden statue. You have to head up for now. You might be back later. No worries. Have a good day. I'll see you soon. Have you tried rethinking things from the beginning without missing anything, Sasa? What seems pointless at first glance hides the greatest things. Oh, maybe that effect of like the words being scrambled was more so an artifact of the fact that like I clicked too soon. Maybe. Alright, yeah. I mean, it seems like there's like nothing really new, and it's also the same deal. There's nothing really to think about. Yeah, chat. Maybe I don't know. I love that guy so much.